So what's the next step? Where do you go from there? You do that for a while, 15, 16, 17, 18, you know you like DJing. You had wrote a song already as a child, but hadn't really explored that just yet. What's the next step in the evolution of man?
Well, in the 80s, like Tokyo in 82, that's when I ran into Iceman at WLCS, and we clicked. So, you know, things just going on, you know, I'm, you know, just doing what I do, I'm living, you know, still doing my craft and stuff. And in the summer of 83, I went home, and that's when Run DMC, and as soon as I made it there, Run DMC was on radio. It's like they dropped the same day I made it there. And, excuse me, and everybody was going crazy over that. It just took them by storm. And while I was there, then I got to realize there was more talent there than just Run DMC. Sure. You know what I'm saying? That's when you know, the Fat Boys was going around doing shows and stuff. Before they even came out, you know, I knew who they was because I went back home and they was doing shows and stuff. Okay. They haven't came out yet though, nationally, right? So yeah, a lot of them, man, like that. When I went back there in '83, and then before you know it, they all became. I'm talking about Houdini, all them. Before they bust out, you know what I'm saying? Then they bust out, and I was like, okay, good, and you know, had all that stuff for this cat, and that made him more popular. You know what I'm saying? Because I was giving him stuff that nobody was getting, and it wasn't coming here no time soon.
How long did you stay up there?
I go up there for the summer. Yeah, it was like a summer visit.
And you come back with everything you could find.
All the mixtapes, everything.
Yeah. Back then up there, you could probably just tape the radio and bring down something they never heard of.
Yeah, because we was doing that too. Yeah. You know, WBLS with Mr. Magic and Marley Marl. Yeah. All
right, and visiting up there, coming back down here, still DJing. What marks a transformation into exploring different things? Because you never, I mean, you kind of stepped away from singing, but now you're back to singing to today, you know what I'm saying? So what was the genesis for the change?
For me to change from rapper to singer? Yeah. Okay, you want to go up there? You want to go way up there? Because I'm going to take you up there and then we got to come back.
Well, how far down the road?
That was 2006.
Oh, okay.
It's when I transitioned from, when I just stopped rapping and
well, let's stay with rap stuff, and then we'll get to that stuff. Okay, yeah. That's a big gap. I don't try to jump that far. Right. You're a Tarantino film. You're like, where are we? Right. So, okay. So, walk me a little bit further. You coming back with stuff that people have never heard of.
Right. I'm talking all that stuff, man. That Fat Boy stuff, the Houdini stuff, everything. Because I was going home every summer. You know, I'm 84. I'm bringing stuff back. 86. That's when Rakim came out. Yes. I'm bringing all that stuff back. Yeah, man. Yeah. But at the same time, I was doing my thing down here.
Now, what did that consist of? It's still DJing?
I was, no, in 83, when I hooked up with the Iceman, I said, you know, and I thought about Marley Marl and Mr. Magic, how they do their thing on the radio, and I seen was nobody really doing it down here. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, let me hook up with Ice. And I wrote this song called The Fresh Mix. And it was talking about me and the Iceman. And he liked it so much, he made it his theme song before he come on. And I was using that Run DMC beat, Sucker MC. You know, and they loved it so much they made it the hottest song on the radio to where they put it in the mix and it was in rotation. Yeah, and that was my first song on the radio in '83.
How did you meet him?
Through the radio station.
You met him through the radio station?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I knew Jazzmore was the DJ.
Okay, the previous DJ
before him.
The previous
DJ before him, gotcha. And he was the one to replace Jazzmore. So they started using him here and there and there and there and there until Jazzmore got ready to leave, and then he took over Jazzmore's spot. So I was already affiliated with them, but not really with him, but with Jazzmore. You know,
because of the previous DJ, you knew the previous DJ, so you'd be around there.
Right.
Got to meet the new cat coming in. Right. He's more open to rap. You're bringing him material.
Right.
All right, dipping your feet in, trying to see where you belong in there.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I guess that had just encouraged you unbelievably to keep trying, keep doing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cause I met him over the phone first. You know what I'm saying? And then I went down there. And that's when it just clicked up. You know. And then he didn't live too far from me.
Yeah.
So I could just walk up the street to his house once I realized where he lived at. And he's over there. He got this one room where he have his turntable set up, and that's where he play his music and stuff when he at home chilling. He turned me on to a lot of good music, like Michael Franks. You know, he turned me on to Michael Franks. I've been listening to Michael Franks ever since. He turned me on to a lot of good jazz, Earl Klug, Kenny G. Yeah. You know, he turned me on to a lot of that good music, man, back in the day.
I got you. Now, what becomes Iceman's interest in working with you? Like, to what degree? What do y'all end up doing?
Well, I became, we'd travel together. You know what I'm saying? I was like his MC. He'll let me get on the mic, do my thing, boom, boom, boom. I'll bust a rap or I'll blow the beatbox. Mm-hmm. Nobody was really, because Fat Boys ain't came out till 84. Uh-huh. Right? 84.
I know eras. I don't know specific dates.
85. Nationally, they came out, I think, it was 84, 85. It was one of them. I know Crush Groove came out in 85. Mm-hmm. And that's when they introduced all of them in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if you seen Crush Groove.
Yeah.
Okay.
Several times.
Well, that was,
I got the Fat Boys cassette tape in my house somewhere, probably in the attic
I need to get a copy
or the garage.
Is that, yeah, I need to get a copy of that, man. Around that time, when I put my first record out and boom, boom, the popularity grew. I'm traveling with Iceman. We going to high schools, et cetera, et cetera.
Now he was working at the radio station as a regular DJ.
Right.
They would have him on. All right. So and he's spinning songs and doing some cutting and scratching in between. Like, how was that working?
He wasn't really cutting just yet on the radio. Uh-huh. He wasn't. I can't really remember him doing that on the radio. But I can, in the clubs. Yeah. He had this club we went to called Images, man. He was a DJ there every night, man. And, we eventually he formed this little thing called the Ice Pack. You know what I'm saying? And that was what we were called at the time. And it just went from there. Yeah. Just went from there.
All right, so it became easy for you to try out new material and probably inspired you to write as well.
Right.
So I mean, he was real instrumental in your kind of coming into your own, so to speak.
Right. Yeah. And I think I fell away from the Ice Pack sometime in '84. You know what I'm saying? Because me, I'm a trendsetter. I'm trying to make things. I don't really follow. I try to be a leader, because that's what I'm used to.
Sure.
So, I broke away from them and got more into my dancing. But that was in '83, when my dancing, and I won my first talent show and all that type of stuff, and we started winning a lot of stuff. My homeboy, Michael Ashia, he's dead now, R.I.P. to Mike. He was my partner. We just won just about everything. Nobody could beat us, man. Yeah. And we lost one event, right? And then these other cats tied us up. It was a tie, that type of thing. So, but other than that, me and him, we was killing it, man. Nobody could beat us. Nobody. I'm talking when it come to the pop lock routines and all that, we was killing them, man.
And where was this taking place? What kind of functions? Who was
like they used to do these basketball things, these 1-on-1 things or these 3-on-3s and stuff like that, and they would have contests. This is when pop locking was, really just jumping off. And everybody loved it. They wanted to see it. And I mean, talent shows, other events, people was to book us to come dance and all that type of stuff, man. Yeah. Those were some good times back then. Yeah.
Okay, so at this time, Iceman was still doing the same thing. You just kind of moved on into a different area for a while.
Right.
What came after the experiences that what came of the experiences that you gained dancing with competitions? I mean, there's things that you pick up during the course of your life that maybe they're not relevant at that time, but you take note, you don't forget, and you end up using them down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, when I started rapping, really got into the rap, I left the dancing alone. It was over for me. And I started paying more attention to my rap craft and the music craft. And that's what it was.
How old are we talking?
This was and it's like everything started around, either the end of '83 or the beginning of '83 or the end of '84. I mean, the beginning of '84. It was around that time because I formed a group called Reality. And I think the early part of '84, and and that's the group, you know, that got we got that record deal, and they put our record out in '85. We had won the very first Citywide Talent Show, and what they did was, you know, they auditioned a lot of people, and we were so good that they used us to be. I'm sorry, they used us to be the mascot, you know, to take us to all the colleges and high schools to promote the Citywide Talent Show.
Gotcha.
And we were like a group like the Fat Boys. You know, we had this kid named Ernest Smith Jr. We called him Rhythm Rock because he could. I mean, so could I. You know, I think I was actually better, but I let him have that spot. You know what I'm saying? Because I really didn't want to be doing it. And so we were something of the Fat Boys. If you seen us, we would remind you of them. And everywhere they took us to, everywhere, we turned it out, man. People gave us standing ovations, man. I mean, it was wild.
That's cool.
And the place was sold out. It was packed. It was in Southern University's Union Hall. It was so many people there, the fire people had to come.
Fire marshal came until you shut it down.
No, they didn't shut it down.
Oh,
they
good.
said no more people can go in.
Oh, I got you.
And they waited out there and made sure no more people. I mean, bruh, I'm talking, the hallway was packed. I mean, you got to come through the doors to get into the Union.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people who know behind the doors in the Union, there's a big old hallway that goes way down to the front door. All that was packed. And they had the doors open where people could just see.
Yeah.
It was wild. And everybody who was somebody at that time who got record deals or whatever coming up out of here, eventually later on, was in that talent show.
That was the one.
And they saved us for last. And when I tell you, when we came out there, man, them people went crazy, man. And when we got through, they really went crazy. The crowd just erupted. Everybody stood up. And we did that song, Missing Kids, off of that song, off the Fat Boy song. Can you feel it? Boom, 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 boom. That's when we did that Missing Kids song off of that. And I mean, they just went. And that's when these record producers approached us from Royal Shield Records. And they said, hey, man, we want to sign y'all. You know what I'm saying? And so we had the meeting, went down there, met with them, boom, 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 boom. And the rest is history.
Play it out like a movie.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, Kuiper was in that. Everybody was in that talent show back then.
Wow.
You know, B-Lo and them, all of them was in that talent show, man. Anybody who made something out of themselves a day that was around that time,
Sure.
you know, was in that talent show.
Kuiper. That's an old name. He blew up, dude.
Yeah, Kuiper was the first one out my clique to go gold.
Yeah. That's funny. Because when you think back to the beginning of all of this, it wasn't like, of course it wasn't like the rap we hear today, but it wasn't even like the rap that some people think they know is, I guess, the first style of music for rap. Like rap was born out of dance music, honestly. And they kind of intertwined for a minute and formed its own thing. And
what do you mean by dance music?
Well, I mean, you think about Dr. Dre, like when he got his start, well, before he started his own thing, he was wearing sequins and shoulder pads and playing
tight stuff. He had tight clothes on.
Tight clothes, dance music, but it was like, I know I keep saying dance music, but it was like, it was the same style coming out of Miami, and it was like it wasn't hip hop like we think of, like Run DMC.
Right, no, it wasn't hip hop.
It wasn't Sugar Hill Gang. It wasn't any of those things. But the DJs came from this previous, you know, dance music that I can't describe too well.
Right, I understand what you're talking about.
It's funny how it changed over time and became something so much harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, rap went from fundamentally hip hop. You know, we just talk about parties, having fun, boom, boom, and then it went to rap, turned into rap, and you know that's when your Eazy-E's and all them started coming out. You know, the gangster rap and all that type of stuff. Yeah. But you had some gangsters in New York, but they just weren't nationally known. You know, like Eazy and when they came out, but and then here comes, you know, the trap music.
Yeah.
You know,
it's forked off 50 times since then. But you know, you bring up a good point. I remember as a child, I started off with rap music to me was Run DMC. I had the Run DMC cassette, and I had, like I told you, the Fat Boys Crushin cassette.
All that was fundamental.
And that was rap to me, and then it seemed like, because you got to realize, when NWA came out, it changed, in my eyes, rap forever.
Oh, it did.
Now rap did this.
Yeah, it did.
It wasn't just a fad. It launched a whole new vein, and it became something different. Now, I mean, rap is not just rap anymore. They got gangster rap, and they got hip hop, and then they got conscious rap after that. Like, there's so many different branches on this tree, you know?
You know why gangster rap did what it did and still doing what it's doing? It's because Easy and them was the first ones to go national talking about killing each other and selling dope.
Yeah.
So that, I believe that's the image that the industry wanted us to have, because they felt like, you know,
Drama sells more records.
Yeah.
Fuck the police and all that other stuff.
All that, right.